Okay, Nikki, let's bring you over to this
Sorry.
side. It looks like the moment of totality has passed us here.
Yes.
Now, what should we be watching for in the moments after totality?
In the moments after totality, you will start to see again the Bailey's bead. So we did see that diamond ring, and I got super excited. But as the moon continues now to pass away, you'll start to see the solar surface come back. It's becoming light again. If we had any roosters here, they would actually be crowing. So it's just been it's amazing, and you'll start to see the sun coming back. And I don't know, I always think what it would have been like if you didn't know the sun was going to come back. You just thought it was disappearing, but here comes the sun again. So it's a wonderful, wonderful day here on the prairie.
That's wonderful. Nikki, what an amazing experience.
Yes.
Thanks so much for talking us through that.
I wouldn't be anywhere else, Vince. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What a great experience, everybody. That is amazing. Now, it looks like things are starting to calm down here on the prairie, but that doesn't mean the show is over. Our coverage of the path of totality continues across the entire path. So, let's go ahead and send it back to NASA's Eclipse Central.
Thank you, Vince. It was well worth the wait, my friend. We were a little delayed there, but my goodness. Jody, did you see that? I mean...
That was amazing. Do you see that diamond ring?
That was, you know, it was even more prominent there.
It was very prominent. You could see like the ray of light, like very, very nice, and the whole diamond around the whole surface. It was amazing.
And Alex, it got really dark. I mean...
It really did. That's actually enjoyed seeing them out on that prairie and seeing... It looked like she was in some sort of weird, strange light, and she was lit up, and everything behind her was dark. It was really cool.
Fantastic. Nebraska, you rocking the house. We really, really appreciate that. But like Vince said, there's a lot more to come, and we got the International Space Station, don't forget. So, Jody, I want to go back. You know, we had to bring in those images, but we were talking about, and you mentioned the stamp. Now, the United States Post Service, they do amazing work.
They do.
But they really outdid themselves this time. Go ahead and finish.
They did. They actually created a special stamp for this event. It's actually a thermochromic stamp, which means that it gets activated by heat, and you're actually looking at it now in your images. This stamp, if you put your thumb into the center, it will actually make the moon surface appear, or any type of heat that you apply to it. It's an amazing stamp, and you know, I got mine yesterday thanks to Dwayne.
And it's thermochromic?
Thermochromic, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It means it gets activated by the heat.
Yeah, heat of your thumb, and I bet you they sold a lot of those stamps.
Oh, they did. They sold out online originally right away. So it was quite a popular one. It's the first time the U.S. has ever used that type of ink.
Okay, so we have seen some pretty cool images. Still got some more to come.
Yeah.
The diamond has been prominent. Let's go over to social and see how things are going. John.
Thanks, Dwayne. We're continuing to look up here in Charleston, South Carolina, because there are some clouds here, and we're excited. Excitement we want to have here too as well. Just a couple quick interesting things. This is the biggest live stream event ever measured on NASA.gov. The web traffic is accounting for 87% of all federal web traffic, which is pretty amazing, showing that people are really, really tuning into our broadcast here. As of 1:40 p.m., 4.4 million people in climbing were watching this broadcast. So the interest across the country is obvious here, and we're going to continue to show you some amazing live views. This one right here is, again, another photo of the space station taken by Bill Ingalls in Washington, one of our photographers here at NASA. Next thing, I have a video from another photographer, one of our other photographers, as the space station transits. You can see it there. If you're looking closely, you can see the space station transiting the sun during the partial eclipse. Pretty spectacular. Again, that's 250 miles per hour, that space station. And you have to be, 250 miles above the Earth, 17,500 miles per hour. You have to be taking a lot of different shots pretty fast to capture that. So nice job, Joel.
Okay, so let's go to Jefferson City. The moon shadow is continuing to pass over the United States in this remarkable celestial event. Our next stop on the path, as I said, of totality is Jefferson City, Missouri. We're going to hand off to meteorologist Eric Aldrich, who is a professor of atmospheric science at the University of Missouri. He has some special guests to help explain two important impacts solar activity can have on humans and the technologies we use. Over to you, Eric.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, we are live in Jefferson City, Missouri. Jefferson City is actually the state capital, and as you can see behind me, there's a lot of people that are here. It's been a whole weekend type of thing, Saturday, Sunday, and of course here on Monday, lots of family-friendly things. There's been corn mazes, there's been 5K runs, there's a lot of good food. Too bad you can't smell the food, but there's a lot of good food that's here as well, and just a very nice weekend. The weather has been perfect. We've had some showers and thunderstorms off to the west all morning. We've had a few high clouds kind of stream on in, but certainly things are looking really good. I am lucky to be joined here by two special people that are going to be talking about space, weather, and just how things work in space. Dr. Janet Kavandi, thank you so much. You are the director of the NASA Glenn Research Center in Cleveland.
Right.
You're also a three-time shuttle astronaut.
That's right.
And you're actually from Springfield, Missouri. So welcome home.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Well, great.
Yeah.
So now, we've been talking a lot about safety, and obviously you don't want to look right up at the sun.
Not without these.
That's right.
Right.
And so we all have some, so that's good. But what about the astronauts that are up in space? What is there to help keep the astronauts safe from the solar radiation and so on and so forth?
Well, for their eyes, we know that they know that certain windows they should not look out of because there's no protection. Other windows have protection on them that help shield their eyes. But also there's other kinds of radiation like protons that come from the sun, heavier particles that can cause damage to our cells. And we try to shield the astronauts as best we can because they're above the atmosphere. We're shielded here by the atmosphere quite a bit. But above that, you don't have that natural shielding. So we have to do it with metal in the vehicle and then some water bags around the sleep station so that they can sleep surrounded by water, and that also helps absorb some of that radiation.
Okay. Now, we also are kind of excited about space communications, and that's certainly another special research area. And so also with me here today is Dr. Tamitha Skov. Now, you're from the Aerospace Corporation in Los Angeles, so welcome to Central Missouri.
Thank you.
Now, you're also a space meteorologist.
Yes.
And you are also referred to as the space weather woman.
I am.
Right? So I've been intrigued by this. What exactly does a space weather woman do?
Well, most people don't realize that the sun actually has its own unique weather that comes from it. And those solar eruptions that come from the sun, they actually hit Earth and cause issues for us. So I actually do a weekly broadcast, weather predictions, just like you do, like a meteorologist, that talks about when these events hit Earth and the types of issues that they cause for things like communications, like GPS and other systems.
Okay, now we're just about 15 seconds away, actually, I believe, from totality.
Put our glasses on.
So we're going to put our glasses on. You can hear the crowd cheering in the background, and it is getting dark.
We're getting close to Bailey beads. Here we go. We're almost at totality.
And
you can see
here
the
we
Bailey
go.
beads. There's almost a diamond ring right there. And there we go. I think we're at totality. So now you can take your glasses off.
That is amazing.
You can actually see the corona a little bit even through the clouds.
That is incredible. Now, Dr. Kavandi, you've been in space. You've seen numerous sunrises and sunsets from the space shuttle. How does this event compare?
Oh, this is completely different than anything I've seen before. I never saw an eclipse. I've seen a partial, but nothing like this. This is really unique and nothing like I saw in space. Space has its really cool visuals, but this is really amazing.
And I'm starting to hear the crickets. They're starting to come on out. Obviously, the street lamps. This is just amazing. Now, I'm also looking up to try to find the Big Dipper and some of the other stars, some of the other planets.
Not through the clouds, likely.
Right.
And I'm really mesmerized by this. This is a spectacular event. We've had several solar storms that have been launched, and some of them have been launched from the left side of the sun. So we're actually seeing a difference from what the corona looked like in our predictions to what it looks like now. And then on top of that, we have ham radio operators all over the state right now who are making contacts that they haven't been able to make because the upper atmosphere is just all turbulent right now, and it affects the communication signals. So we've got GPS operators and ham radio operators doing a ton of science, and it's just it's overwhelming.
This is amazing. Now, my team of atmospheric science researchers from the University of Missouri, they are actually sending up weather balloons here this afternoon to try to figure out how the weather is changing at certain height levels. And actually, here's a map of the solar radiation throughout the state of Missouri, and you can kind of see how much solar radiation is hitting the surface of the Earth here in Missouri. Just interesting. This is amazing.
It is. You can tell the crowd is just mesmerized. This is so cool. And you can even see the dips and the valleys, as you can see little areas of the sun where it's shining through more.
Right, and those create the Bailey beads that we see as we get out of totality, which is coming up here pretty soon.
Right.
Not quite yet, though.
Yeah, I think we come out of totality at 1:15:35 local time, and so we just have a few more seconds of that. It's absolutely an amazing event. And again, we're so lucky that some of these high clouds were able to kind of
Fall apart,
kind of fall apart a little bit so we could experience this.
For us, yes. And I can't believe we can actually see the corona through the clouds.
Great.
Okay, that's the air horn. We're coming out of totality. We're going to have to end up.
So we need to put our safety
in just
glasses back on.
There we go. Put your Bailey beads. There we go. We got to put the glasses back on. Oh my goodness.
So as you can see, we're coming out of totality here in Jefferson City, Missouri. Ladies, thank you so much for experiencing this with me.
Thank you. Quite an experience. Thank you very much.
Yes, it was. Thank you. So everyone's excited here in Jefferson City, Missouri. The sun's starting to come out a little bit. We're going to go ahead and send it back to Charleston.
We should have stayed.
Thanks, Eric. Yadi, wow.
It's an amazing, I get goosebumps every time I see this. So I cannot imagine how it's going to be, when we actually see it here in South Carolina.
I mean, so Alex, I'm speechless, man. I mean, as a scientist, you gotta love this stuff, right?
Oh my God, and it's so great to hear them. I mean, I love hearing an experienced astronaut talk about how overwhelming it is, given the amazing things that she has seen, but also to hear my colleague, Tamitha Scove, who is also a heliophysicist and a space weather expert. I can hear the excitement in her voice. I mean, it's palpable. It's just great.
Okay, so check this out, guys. I mean, I think things are going so smooth. We're going to go to another image right now from Hopkinsville. Brian Massey, out there from Marshall Space Flight Center. What's going on? You got some action there. Hopkinsville. There it is.
That's beautiful. They're getting close.
Now, it's yellow. Is that, we had purple, does that mean something there?
Well, the previous one we saw that was purple was calcium K. It was a blue kind of light. This is actually more of a white light, continuous. Yeah. But the thing to remember is sometimes the different filters you use will change the color just a little bit. But what we're seeing here is really more visible, broader spectrum white light.
Okay. White light.
Let me, John, you gotta have some cool stuff on social media.
This is a good question, guys. Mark from Facebook's asking, and this is what really applies right now. When observing the moon at night, I see it proceed from eastern to western horizon, much like the sun does. How come the solar eclipse is traveling from west to east across the U.S.?
Well, again, that's because when we're looking at the moonrise, that's actually because of our location on the Earth and the fact that the Earth is rotating from west to east, the same reason that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But the moon itself is moving in the same direction the Earth is rotating, and it's casting that shadow down on the Earth, and that is moving in the direction that both the moon is orbiting and the Earth is rotating. So from west to east.
Okay, so the total eclipse has now passed over half the country. It's currently over Illinois, and I think we're going to have some views coming up shortly. But what I really want to do here, guys, is this has been really incredible. I want to give a shout out to the College of Charleston. Make some noise. Oh, we're loving it here. So now we've got live video coming to us from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. It's a small town that's known for southern hospitality, like Charleston, and it's also a prime spot for viewing this total solar eclipse. Hopkinsville is the city with the longest duration of the total solar eclipse, for a total of 2 minutes and 40 seconds of totality. NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, Brian Massey, I'm so excited. What you got, man?
Dwayne, we're we're just as excited as you are. We are here in Eclipseville. Say hello, everybody. Oh, we're having a great time. I'm surrounded by 1,000 of my best friends. We're getting ready. It's starting to get a little darker already. We're also joined here by NASA Marshall planetary scientist Renee Weber. Renee, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. It's really great to be here. I just want to say thank you to the city of Hopkinsville for having us out on this beautiful farm in Kentucky, and we're just all really excited.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of fun. The light's starting to fade, and the excitement's getting bigger. We are at the point of greatest eclipse here at Hopkinsville. Renee, tell us a little bit, what's the significance of that?
Well, the point of greatest eclipse is actually a point in time when the axis of the moon's shadow is pointed most directly towards the center of the Earth.
Great.
So we are at the point on the surface of the Earth where that time occurs.
Exactly. The shadow will actually be more circular here than anywhere else in the country, correct?
That's right. And it's getting really dim, and we are just so close. It's incredible.
Yeah, this is amazing. We can't wait to break out in the darkness. We've got our glasses out. We've been looking up at it. You can see now on the screen our live telescope view, and this is just amazing. Everybody is really enjoying it. We've got people from all over Kentucky, people from all over the world have joined us here, as this is Eclipseville, USA, and we are just a few minutes away from totality. But before we get to that point, Renee, tell us, you're a planetary scientist and you specialize in the moon, a lunar scientist. How does the eclipse really speak to what you do?
Well, it is pretty cool to look up there, and when you're seeing that sun get dimmer and dimmer, it's because the moon is up there.
Right.
And I like to tell everyone that you're really looking at the moon when you're watching a solar eclipse, and it's just getting dim, and it's starting to get a lot cooler too.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Crazy. This is my first solar eclipse. Renee, have you ever experienced one?
This is my first total eclipse too. I've seen partial eclipses, but I've never had a chance to see totality before, and I'm just so excited.
It's amazing. The light is starting to fade as the moon steps in front of the sun here, and it's already just a really eerie feeling here, getting dark in the middle of the day. But we're really excited about it, and we're just a few seconds away. I've lost my counter, but I'm going to look back at the sun while I still have the opportunity. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. We're down to just a thin sliver of the sun. Renee, what do you think about this?
I can't believe it. It's just, it looks incredible, and it really is starting to get dim, and nobody even needs their sunglasses, just your eclipse glasses, and you can see that beautiful crescent sun.
Wow, this is absolutely amazing.
We're just really looking forward to that for a chance. We got no clouds here in the sky, and you can see some airplanes up there, but that sun is just getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, it's definitely a Hopkinsville, Kentucky Chamber of Commerce sponsored day here in Eclipseville. There's not a cloud in the sky, and it's amazing how it's gotten so much cooler here since the sun started covering up started being covered.
Yeah, it's nice to have a break from that hot southern sun.
Yeah, definitely. We've been sweating it out a couple days here in Hopkinsville getting ready for this.
We're getting really close now.
So what exactly are we looking at here, Renee?
Well, we're just about close to 100%. It's just getting smaller and smaller, and it's getting dimmer and dimmer, and hopefully soon we'll have a chance to see those Bailey's beads and that diamond ring.
Right.
That's when you can actually see the light shining through the moon's valleys. The moon's not a perfectly smooth sphere. It's got that rugged surface, and you can see those sun rays shining through those mountains and valleys and craters.
Wow.
It's looking like we're about 1 minute out now, and it's just getting smaller and smaller.
Wow, this is amazing.
The crowd's getting really excited too.
Hey guys, who back there is excited for the solar eclipse? Wow, it's getting closer.
Wow. It's just getting really close to nighttime. It's incredible. It's like very dim.
Definitely it feels like dawn or dusk here in Hopkinsville right now as it's getting closer.
Come on. And you can see on our feed, there's that tiny, tiny little sliver left to go. And it's really starting to get dark now. Wow. It's
Goodness
like dusk.
gracious.
And you can see the pink color around the horizon. Oh, it's like a sunset. It's beautiful. It's going. It's going.
Wow.
Just that tiny, tiny last sliver. Oh my goodness.
And we are in total solar eclipse, and this is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, you can see the corona, that beautiful white wispy crown coming out from the sun in all directions. And we can see airplanes, and I think I see Jupiter in the sky over there. I think I can see Jupiter.
Wow.
And I see other planets too, and stars.
I can only imagine in ancient times what this must have been like.
I know.
Out of nowhere. I am covered in head to toe in goosebumps. A complete chill.
I know,
has come
I
over
am
my
too.
body.
I just can't believe we finally got a chance to see it. I mean, it's one thing to read about it, but it's another thing when you get to see it yourself with your own eyes.
Guys, we're going to take a break here just a second. We're going to step back and fully enjoy this and hope you enjoy our feed on the telescope. Eclipseville. It has definitely lived up to
And now
its
we're getting
name.
that diamond
Here we
ring
go.
on the
We've
way
got it
out.
coming back. The moon is stepping aside
And
from the
now,
sun. It is getting
totality's over.
brighter. Totality has finished here at Hopkinsville. Wow, that was absolutely amazing, Renee. Can you even try to put it in words?
I can. I mean, I just have goosebumps all over my body.
Wow, this is amazing. We can see the birds flying around in the
we can
distance.
see the sun starting to come out, and it's getting bright again.
This is amazing.
It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah,
Until the
definitely.
next eclipse
Yeah,
that we'll
exactly.
have only 6 years away. We get to see it
It's-
again.
Wow, we'll be there.
Yeah.
We will be making
Without
our
a
way.
doubt. I think I'm hooked. I'm an addict.
We have sat in meetings preparing for this for the last 2 or 3 months, and now that it's actually here, it's completely 100% lived up to its billing, and I can't imagine, I can't believe what just happened.
It was just amazing. We were so worried about the weather and the the broadcast and making sure our telescope was set up and everything went smooth, and we just had a blast.
Wow, this has been absolutely amazing. Folks, we have really enjoyed it. It's been a great time here at Hopkinsville, here at Eclipseville, USA. Now time for us to send it back to Clarksville, Tennessee, where our good friend Chris Blair is standing by for their reaction to the eclipse. Chris?
But I think he meant Charleston, not Clarksville. So let's bring it back here at Eclipse Central. There's only one Eclipse Central, and it's here in Charleston. Yeah, okay, so the hits just keep on coming through the eyes of NASA. Now, let's continue. Now, these are going to be pre-recorded views from the high-altitude WP-57 aircraft. They soar high above the clouds that could potentially block the views of today's eclipse. And they're chasing the total solar eclipse. They're mid-wing, long-range aircraft used to conduct high-altitude research. So, let's go to these pre-recorded views.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are we seeing here, Alex?
So right now we're looking at these specially fitted cameras. They're on the nose cone of the WB-57, and these are designed to look at the corona, and they're also designed to look at mercury. They're taking thousands of images every minute and processing this data to give us an extended view, because up there at 50,000 feet, it's 20 to 30 times darker than it is here on the Earth, because there's a lot less scattered light. So this is a really unique opportunity. As those two planes fly in tandem, they give us about 8 or more minutes of a view of the corona. Now, the other thing they're actually looking at is, because they're so high up, it's very cold, and that allows them to take infrared observations. And in this case, Mercury is very close to the sun, and they can take infrared observations of Mercury to see the temperature change as Mercury is rotating.
That's amazing. So we're going to come back with that, but let's go, now let's go to Clarksville and see what's going on there.
All right, thanks and welcome back. We're excited to highlight some of the student science and the STEM aspect of this solar eclipse. We have several students joining us right now. Would you please tell our audience your name and what school you go to?
My name's Eliza Dellert. I'm from the University of Alabama, Huntsville.
And what club or group are you with?
I'm actually with the Space Hardware Club.
All right, and you guys have been launching balloons all day today. Tell us about the scientific payloads and the instrumentation.
Well, on our first balloon, we had a Geiger counter counting alpha, beta, gamma particles. We also had a pointing payload to get stabilized camera footage along the way. We had some hops from one of our local breweries. And then we, on our second balloon, we had a live streaming payload. So that was cool. That was probably our biggest project, thanks to Alabama Space Grant and National Space Grant. And so we were really excited with all of our experiments. They went really well.
Excellent. Well, we're glad you came here to do this. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. And so that's University of Alabama in Huntsville. And so we also have another student joining us from the Space Camp, U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Tell our audience, please, your name. And I just said who you're with. So tell us your name, please.
I'm Stephanie Bonifield. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And you're with the Space Campers. What have they been doing all weekend long to get prepared for this eclipse?
Well, the day before we left, we did a whole bunch of eclipse stuff. We did classes about what the eclipse is and like what we'll experience, and a lot of safety stuff. They didn't want anybody like burning their retinas or anything, so we did a lot of that. We talked about what experiments we'll be doing. We set up the shadow band boxes that are over here that are out of the shot, but we recorded, hopefully, some interesting data about what was happening during totality, so that's pretty cool.
So you guys will go back and go over that data a little bit. Tell us about the students. Where are they from? It's not just students from Alabama.
No, yeah, we have students from all over the country and even all over the world. We have students just in my team who are from like Spain. We've got someone from Norway, all over the world. It's crazy. There's a girl in another group who's from Mexico and a boy from Mexico, and they were like talking to each other in in Spanish the other day, and that was really neat, just meeting other people from other cultures. So you really get a neat experience at camp.
Absolutely. Education is global. And so lastly with you, give us your first reaction to viewing the solar eclipse.
It's just really crazy. It is daylight here, and it was daylight before, and then the eclipse kind of comes in slow, and it's just like a glowing ring in the sky. It's incredible. It's so hard to explain. And then the lighting, it's not like dark like at night. It's like this kind of almost eerie sort of ambient lighting, and there's a sunset everywhere. And then after totality, like right after, it was like somebody turned daylight back on. The moon just moves away and it's light again. It's really awesome.
No, absolutely. It's exactly what happened. So thanks. We appreciate your time. Yeah. Thanks a lot. So we got one more student joining us. It's from the Inspire Project. Please tell us your name and what school you attend.
I am Robert Allsbrooks, and I attend Chesapeake Math and IT Academy in Maryland.
And tell us a little bit about the science experiments and research you were working on while you were here.
I was working with the balloons, and I was also working with the shadow bands and the ham radio.
All right, and how about your first reaction to the solar eclipse?
It was just amazing. When I saw the sun go away, and it almost went pitch black, and I just looked up, and there was just a ring around the sun, and it was amazing. That's all I have to say.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
On behalf of everyone here at Austin Peay State University and NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, thanks for letting us be a small part of this wonderful event. Right now, let's go back live for continuing coverage of this eclipse from Charleston.
thank you, thank you. We are having a great time here at the College of Charleston, but we've got more images coming here and the International Space Station later. Let's get some images coming in from the Great Smoky Mountains, one of the largest national parks east of Rocky Mountains. Oh, wow. Alex, what is that? Looks awesome.
We're looking at the sun that's still too bright.
It's still too bright.
But it's almost completely covered. It's getting dimmer and dimmer. And this is the unfiltered sun. So we're going to go straight from this to
Totality.
seeing the corona directly. This is going to be a pretty cool shot,
Yes.
actually.
So here's
you can
still,
see it's
glasses
getting
still
dimmer
on.
and dimmer. Still got to have your glasses on. It's still too bright to look at directly. But it's just almost like a little tiny Christmas star or something. It's crazy. It's getting tiny and tinier.
Now, why was it in the shape of a star? That's the first one I've seen.
That's oh, there it is. I can see the corona.
Oh, okay.
That's because the camera
Far
itself
away.
didn't have a filter on
Yeah.
it, and it was too difficult to see. But we can see the corona. There's now a little black dot, and you can see the corona around it, and that's actually the closest to what we're going to see when we look at it with our own eyes, when we view it here.
John, let's go to social, man. They got to be buzzing on the conversation here.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions coming in. Of course, it's trending all over social media. Let's pull up this image right here on the sidebar, if possible. This right here is just one of our users did of the eclipse from Arlington, Texas. Pretty freaking cool, showing the showing the partial eclipse on his hand. Really interesting. And then we have the Toshiba screen in New York City, where, of course, everyone there in Times Square is able to see the partial eclipse. So it's pretty spectacular. Views coming in. And we do have a few questions. I'd like to just try to get a couple in. Is it okay to see a solar eclipse in selfie mode? I see a lot of people, there's students out here, and students like to take selfies. Is that, without glasses, is that okay to do?
Actually, it is if the sun's especially behind you, because if you're looking down, the sun's behind you, and you've got it in selfie mode, that actually will protect your eyes. Again, the main thing is you do not want to have it pointed directly at the sun so that you might move away and see it with your unprotected eyes.
Yes.
So let me use this opportunity to talk about safety reminders too, about just making sure, like you just said, it's the overall view.
You know, if you're in the partial solar eclipse, make sure that you always have your glasses on to look at the sun. The only time that is safe to take off the glasses is when you're all completely, like the moon completely blocks the surface of the sun in totality. As soon as you see that diamond ring effect, that's the timing to actually put back your glasses to look back at that amazing event.
And John, let's get one more social question before we go to the next phase here. We're just having too much fun here.
Starting to get cold and dark here too in Charleston. I think this is pretty obvious by all of us outside right here, but is it safe to be outside during the eclipse as long as you don't look directly at the sun?
Absolutely. There's nothing different. We are just having less sunlight shining down on us, but there's no real difference, and it's absolutely safe to be outside. And we, of course, as long as you're safe, encourage that.
Yeah, go outside and watch this event.
Okay. All right, here we go. So let's talk about exoplanets. A solar eclipse is a special kind of transit or movement of astronomical body that passes in front of another. And if you've been watching along with us, you know NASA is using today's transit to further study the sun. We use similar transits to study planets outside of our solar system, or as I said, exoplanets, as they pass in front of their distant star.
While a total solar eclipse is a rare opportunity to learn more about our sun, NASA's Kepler mission has been studying distant stars for an eclipse-like event called a planetary transit. Using a space-based telescope, scientists from Ames Research Center have been measuring the changes in the brightness of stars as their planets orbit or transit in front of them. Kepler has confirmed more than 2,500 exoplanets, or planets beyond our solar system. Many of these are similar to Earth in size and distance from their sun. Studies using Kepler data have revealed a vast range of planet types and sizes, and future discoveries could help enable the search for life in the galaxy. Another major effort at NASA aims to use eclipses to study stars in deep space is called SOFIA, or the Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. SOFIA is a modified Boeing 747 SP aircraft that makes celestial observations in the infrared part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Flying up to 45,000 feet, SOFIA operates above 99% of the Earth's water vapor that absorbs most of the infrared light from space. One example of SOFIA's unique qualities as an airborne observatory occurred when researchers recorded infrared imagery of Pluto as it eclipsed a distant star. What we learned from missions like Kepler and SOFIA could help us to better understand the mysteries of our sun, our galaxy, and our place within it.
All right, thank you. We're here live at the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina, where it is just about time for totality. And I'm here with my colleagues, Dwayne Brown and John Yembrick, and Jari is somewhere, I believe, Carla Vega, and Alex Young. And you can see the crowd behind us. And if you look up in the sky, which I was doing just before we came back here live, we are probably at about 90% totality. And the good news from the weather standpoint is there are some clouds, but I see some breaks in them just off to the south a little bit, and fingers crossed, really tight that those breaks are going to move over as we get into totality in just a few minutes. Dwayne, what do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for, hey man, we got something. You are the man. You are the man. This is exciting. We've got our glasses. We got our scientists. Johnny, come on, get in here, and Alex here. So we're excited here at the college. Make some more noise, College of Charleston. Yeah. We are having a ball here. There's still a lot more here through the eyes of NASA. We got the International Space Station coming up. You don't want to miss it. Now here we go here. Safety glasses on, guys.
Let's get in there, yeah, but we still got maybe a few more minutes to go till totality, but you can see, look at that, you can see that, yeah.
Wow. Johnny, you know, even with the clouds, we can still see it. It's pretty good, right?
You guys see it?
Yeah. A little bit.
All right. I think we got some break-ins in clouds. I can see.
We got a couple minutes. We still got about 3.5 minutes left.
Guys, this is amazing, right?
This is amazing.
Through the eyes of NASA. College of Charleston is getting a large selfie with the students and faculty and everyone here.
2.5 minutes left.
2.5 minutes. Dwayne, you've actually seen a total eclipse before.
I have, and it's amazing, and it's spiritual, and it really brings you in step with that. We're just a small pebble on a highway of galactic endlessness.
Does viewing this right now bring you back to that moment several years ago?
It's a little different because I'm here on American soil with you guys here. but it's still breathtaking.
Amazing. Yeah.
You know, Sean, haven't seen it in Africa and here in the U.S. Doesn't get any better than that, my friend.
No.
Here we go, almost. Here we go, it's coming. Johnny, what is it there? Is it there yet?
No, it's hard to tell. I think that was just some cloud cover.
Getting dark.
It's getting dark and it's getting cooler too, which is nice.
The temperature has dropped.
Yeah. We're still. I don't think we're quite there yet. We've got some patches of blue just a little ways away. Still just an amazing experience.
I have goosebumps. Like, this is...
Yeah, you've done,
It is safe to remove your glasses and look at the total eclipse. You may remove your glasses.
We've got a minute and a half, right?
Yes.
Totality.
A minute and a half of totality. So we have.
Once again, it is safe to remove your glasses and look at the total eclipse.
Yeah, that's it. Wow. Put the glasses back on now.
Glasses back on. Yep.
Please replace your glasses. You need to put your glasses back on to view the sun now. Please replace your glasses. You must be wearing your glasses to look at the sun.
I'm mean, we experienced the temperature drop.
Yeah.
And it was dark. It was dark. 2024.
Yep. Ready for the next one.
We got IFB in your ear, Sean.
Wow.
Okay, Sean, this is your first, right?
This is my first, but certainly not my last.
How did it feel?
Amazing. You said it yourself, Dwayne. This is amazing. That's the only word to really describe it. Even though we had the clouds, it was just an incredible experience. We got to experience the darkness. We got to experience the temperature drop. We got to see it in, kind of moving in and out between the clouds. But most importantly, we got to experience the energy and the enthusiasm that we feel all around us here today.
Well, this team in the city of Charleston, well, thank you. We had some iffy weather, but you made it happen, man.
Yeah, well, thank you. And you don't know the half of it. Actually, I've been also monitoring for possible thunderstorms, which we've been having just up to the north in places like North Charleston, Goose Creek. Luckily, because of a sea breeze pushing the moisture that's been allowing these clouds to develop, moisture coming in from the Atlantic, that sea breeze has been pushing those thunderstorms inland a little bit. So even though we still have some cloud cover here, we have been very lucky not to have any rain or thunderstorms like we had yesterday at this time.
You are really a true meteorologist, my friend. Johnny! Hey, Johnny! Okay, space weather expert extraordinaire. How was it?
It was amazing. Like Sean said, even though that we couldn't see it, consider the solar corona, which, is what I really, really wanted to see. We experienced, the darkness and the change in temperature, and also, the energy of the students. We even started hugging up because we were so excited. It has been an amazing experience. So the next one, 2024.
Hey, Alex. You gotta feel good, man.
This was fantastic, and it was also a big tease for the next one because, man, I want to do this again. I could feel that shadow overhead. I could see the light and the horizon all the way around, feeling the change in the temperatures, even seeing the clouds themselves moving differently as that shadow hit overhead. It was fantastic. It was palpable, man. I could just feel the energy around here, and I want more of this.
Well, let's hear what the country and all of this in Charleston. Let's go to social media. Over to you, John.
Yeah, the reactions across the entire nation have been huge. We have, actually, if you're watching at home, some of our streams actually went down only because the fact that, there was just so much traffic on it. Of course, we were broadcasting this all over the country. I want to show up on our slides, some of our graphics here, some really cool things, photos that we have here, some crescent-shaped shadows in Seattle, Washington, taken by Logan Johnson. This is a pretty interesting image, as you haven't really seen anywhere else. The next one here is a totality view from Idaho Falls. This is David Cantillo. Just some spectacular images coming in from all over. People are sending us stuff using the various hashtags out there. Eclipse 2017, which is our hashtag, Solar Eclipse 2017, which is trending on Twitter and other places. And of course, we're reading a lot of this stuff coming in too. We're seeing and reading your reactions. Some of it is just really shows the amount of how it really impacts people. And us being here in Charleston, we also saw it get really dark here, get cool breeze coming through. And even though there were some clouds, it was like nothing we've really ever experienced before. And so for those of you who are in the path of totality, I hope the views we're showing you here today have really helped you kind of get the sensation of what we're trying to show. And here's this last one here is a 99.5 near totality nerds here in Boise, Idaho, checking it out. One of our photos there. Everyone is wearing eclipse glasses, and it's we still have a partial eclipse on the East Coast. People are still seeing the sun transit, and so it's an exciting time here. I think we have another view here from Bailey Beads, seen from Oregon, from one of our photographers. This is a NASA photographer, took this shot right here. I think that's just before the diamond ring pops up, and it's pretty spectacular shot. So I think if we're ready to get going again, I think we have a quick question would like to take. Look at some of these here. There are a lot of these are questions coming in from eclipse viewing. Now the eclipse is officially over. I see that. What were your reactions as you were watching it? I know we were out there and stuff, but now that it's over, what's the sensation that having the totality behind you?
It was amazing. I got goosebumps. This is my first total solar eclipse. I actually remember watching, a partial solar eclipse back at home in Puerto Rico, and I mean, was amazing. Like I said, the darkness that was around us. It was amazing being, knowing that it's day.
I was just sort of amazed by the kind of rush of how quickly it all of a sudden happened. The darkness, and then I could just feel it all around me. It was really, really powerful.
Well, I'm glad it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad it's cooled down a lot.
Yeah, it's cool because it was hot. It was hot.
It was very hot.
But the weather, I mean, it's amazing. And as we said earlier in the show, and when we watch it, this is my second one, but sharing it with you guys, I mean, this is very, very cool and memorable. And 7 years is another one? Is that right?
7 years in the U.S., but we've got one in 2019 in South America.
Okay. In Argentina.
So we'll start making reservations already. So this is certainly one for the history books. But we're not done yet. The solar eclipse is traveling over the Atlantic Ocean. So Alex, let me turn to you. How far is it going to go out to the ocean?
It's got another 3,700 miles roughly to travel. It's going to end just off the coast of Africa near Sierra Leone, in that area. But that's also where night begins, day ends and night begins. So we got a ways to go. There's still some more left. And maybe if you're out on a ship, you're going to get to see some more of it too.
Yeah, we have the Coast Guard 5 miles from Charleston.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty good. Well, you know what? I've been talking about this. If you just tuned in, this is NASA Television through the eyes of NASA. We have been bringing you unique images, reaction from all over the country. But now in 30 minutes, we'll be bringing you a view from one place no one else can go, the International Space Station. We'll check in with the astronauts aboard to see how they experience the eclipse from space. Here in Charleston, we will continue to see a partial solar eclipse for about 90 minutes or so. And remember to continue to use safe wearing, viewing, glasses, methods, and everything in between. Safety, safety, safety. Now we're going to my colleague, Karen Fox. Hey, Karen, who's out in the field getting more reaction. There she is.
We have been having a ball out here on the quad at the College of Charleston. Everybody had a great time today. We're going to ask a few questions from the people who were here. Why don't you step over here, young man? Tell me your name.
My name is Josh Petro.
And what year are you?
I'm actually a second year here.
So did you come to Charleston College, the College of Charleston, just to see this eclipse? Like, is that why you chose to matriculate here?
Oh, absolutely. No, to be honest, I love this school, and the eclipse, I've been studying the sky since I was probably 9, since I could read. I'd take out astronomy books. So this is just once in a lifetime, honestly. It's amazing.
So tell me about it. What did you experience when you watched the eclipse? What did it feel like for you?
It was just like, wow, this is what you read in books. This is the kind of thing that you think, wow, if that happened to me, I don't even know what I'd do. And it happened.
It's fantastic here. So I have one more question. You said you've been studying space since you were young. What are you majoring in now? Are you studying science?
Actually, the plan was to do a double major of astronomy and physics, and hopefully maybe do some of that work myself one day.
Awesome. Come work with NASA. We'll look for you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right. Let's find somebody else. You want to come on up? Come on over. Sure. Tell me your name.
Oh, my name is Amanda Anium. I'm a rising junior in the Honors College at CFC. I'm sorry, no, you didn't ask that, but.
But I was going to. That was exactly what I was going to ask. You're like a mind reader. Do you know what my next question's going to be?
How was my experience? It was amazing. I felt a total unity with the world. I did.
That is fantastic. So I have a question. What are you going to do with your Eclipse glasses now?
I think maybe as a souvenir for my grandchildren. I think that's what I would do with my glasses.
You're going to be like, let me tell you, kids, this is where I was on August 21st, 2017.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she summed it up pretty well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We are going to go back to Dwayne Brown, and we'll be back later with more conversations from the college.